everyone, and welcome to the show. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor, and I'm very excited about today's show. I hope that we don't have any internet problems, but hey, we're going to keep pushing on. So, this is a super exciting show because we have a couple of some crazy things with the hair. So we're going to talk about them today. Oh, one of our favorite, you know her, is Taraji Henson. What's wrong with me this morning, Lisa, or today, or this evening, this afternoon, or whenever you're viewing the show? Taraji Taraji Henson. You know her. She is at it with her hairstyle. And hairstyle, new hairstyle, and Jourdan Dunn. She's got something that she's doing that's pretty cool. But as we talk about other things, I'm excited about the things we're going to talk about today because we are going to answer some of the questions that you have had about your hair. We're going to talk about moisturizing for your children, your babies, your toddlers, what is safe. Everybody's a little to use many things on their children's hair, but we're going to talk about that and how safe that is and how they really hydrate their hair. And then we're going to talk about alopecia areata, which is something that it's a type of baldness. Alopecia is baldness. We're going to talk about that today because there are many folks who are suffering with it. Are there any home remedies that can really fix this problem? We want to clear all of that up, just let you know if there are or if there are not. And really, what is alopecia areata? Where does it come from? And then we want to talk about gray hair. What's going on with managing gray hair? Wow. And why do you go gray at an early age? In your 20s, say. I have some patients who are doing that. They're going gray and they want to know why. And they want to get on this about Victoria's Secret, this black model for her hairdo. We want to see what that's all about. And then want to talk about, and I could talk about this all the time, and we'll always get response, and we'll always have more questions about this topic. We're going to talk about hair porosity. Yes, we're going to talk about it, how to, we talk about the ways to determine your porosity, but how do you have good porosity? Where should you be? What's going on with our hair, and why is our hair porosity not where it should be? Okay. Packed. Oh my goodness. And we know that Father's Day, we're all celebrating Father's Day. So, hey, make sure we say Happy Father's Day to your brother, your husband, your dad, your whoever, whatever man in your life who's a father. Say Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. Okay. All right. So let's get started. And we're going to start with what's her hairstyle? What is going on? You guys have been on essence.com. I love going on essence.com because they always have a lot of the news that, we like and some things that we want to talk about and blah, 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 So I want to talk to you today about some of these celebrities before we go into a lot of our topics. Taraji Henson. Now, she was spotted in one of, I would have to say her, and Essence is saying this as well, most daring hairstyles to this date. I mean, I was shocked when I saw it. But these celebrities wear a lot of added hair and a lot of weave. Now, for me, they can wear what they want. I just want them safe. And the reason why I want them to do it in a healthy or safe way, because we are going to copy them. And once she's got a hairstyle that Peatly fallen in love with, fresh off a whirlwind of awards season and another season at Empire. She is this talented actress, and she was recently spotted. And looking at her, it was a golden brown high fade, golden brown, blonde, red, gold. I call it worn leather because you have all those different, if you wear leather down, it looks in all different colors. Well, that's what it looks like to me. And her sides are tapered. All right, so what can we talk about on Taraji's Henson's hairstyle? What do we need to look for? If you're going to copy this style, number one, you don't need to use clippers that are going to scrape the skin. Make sure minimum guard. And then to get it completely faded down to where you want it, you have your barber use shears to do that over comb on the sides. Now, with the hair, if you're going to, and if you're going to clean it up around the sides, don't use a straight razor, just use a low clipper. I call them T-liners, because you don't want to tear your skin, because when you do that, you'll end up losing your hairline, because what happens, you are going to change your style. You're not going to always want this style, so you're going to change it. So be careful. Now, as it relates to the hair strands, she's got color. If you're going to wear color, it looks like she's got color. Maybe she's got a texturizer. Maybe she has it natural. Don't know. But let's talk about how to get this. This is all pumped up, high energy. It's really up there. So it looks good now. She's looking pretty cool. But we have to make sure that we, number one, if we're going to do color, let's get these phones off. I didn't realize they were on. If we're going to do color, we need to make sure that we are doing things safely. So we've got to make sure, if we're doing color, that we condition our hair, pre-condition, because this is a multiple color. So she's got to this. So if you're going, you have to pre-condition, and that means you got to spray a leave-in conditioner. What I will recommend is our hair vitamin. Spray that on, and then sit on a cool dryer just until that locks into the cuticle. That's going to help with your porosity. We're going to talk about that more later on in the show. And then you want to make sure that you are putting one color on, letting that color sit for the appointed time. And this is going to a colorist would be the number one thing I would say. But this is what you want to look for. Let that sit for appointed time. Rinse that off, shampoo it off, then condition that hair. And then come back and put your next color on, your highlights between it, or low lights. If the hair is lighting up pretty bright, then you're going to put some low lights in there. Then you're ready to put your low lights in. But you want to shampoo, condition it, rinse that conditioner off, spray on your leave-in conditioner, sit in the dryer for a few minutes to cool, to lock that leave-in conditioner in, pull through the cap or weaved, in other words, with the foil, and then you're ready. Styling it, then you want to make sure that you are not using mousse, because mousse swells the hair and dehydrates, and not using gels. You want to use, if it's natural, use a sculpting type moisturizer. We have one called Naturally Textured on my website. And you can go on lisakbeard.com. You'll see, if you're chatting with me, you see it there. Or you can use if you have relaxed hair, you can use setting lotion, and that's on my website as well. And it's called Sculpture Set, and you can twist your hair in place. And you'll have it, and you'll be cool with it. And every night you got to dress your hair for bed. See, I'm the one, I'm not the killjoy. I don't take away the fun, but I do believe that if you're going to copy off of these celebrities, and we do, then you've got to stay safe. So while I think that she is most definitely rocking a hairstyle that we can all fall in love with. It is so sharp, so cool. We need to be sure we stay safe. And that's me. Ask your hair doctor. I'm here for you guys. You know that. Okay. All right. So We talked about her. Now, who's next? Our next celebrity, it's Jourdan Dunn. You know who she is? She's a model and she's just gorgeous. I mean, she's stunning is the word. But and she wears a lot of weave, and so does many of the celebrities. Lots of wigs, lots of wigs. And then when they come out with their hair, they're just, and she's another one, just like everyone, a lot of the other celebrities we're seeing, they're wearing their short hair. She is going way down with it, but so she's doing something called a pixie crop. Wow. And it really, when you see it, it'll make you want short hair. I mean, she's doing it. Women, and the reason I want to talk about this, because Black women in Hollywood and all over, they're grabbing their shears and they're just abandoning the weave and the wigs, and they're like, look, I'm gonna do this thing. And they're just doing it. And Jourdan Dunn is another one on the red carpet who's doing it. And she's a British model, and she was posted with her pixie cut. It was really big on Instagram. Her followers were mesmerized. They were like, wow. And a lot of it was because that outfit too. Now you got to see that outfit. She looks really good, but the pixie cut is really, really cute. So this is something that I think that will be nice for the summer. It will be nice for any time of the year, but here's the deal. If you're going to do it and you're going to relax your hair, then you have to still keep in mind, because when we wear relaxed hair with short hair, we tend to over process because we get them so often. Now you have two options with that. You can either relax your hair too often and over process hair off, but here's the problem. You still got to take your need relaxer around it often, and even though you're not relaxing your scalp, you're relaxing the hair, your scalp is still there. Here is an appendage of the scalp. As we all know, your scalp is going to be affected. So we got to keep that in mind. So it's really important that we pay attention to. All right, guys. So if you're going to relax, you have to be sure to only then you have to make sure that because you'll be using a heated tool to get that straightness to it, you have to make sure that every time you use the heated tool, you shampoo, condition, hydrate. Make sure that your hair is, if it's fine hair, stay around 100, 150 degrees on the heated tool. If it's medium, stay around 300, 350 degrees temperature on the heated tool. And then if it's coarse, then you can go up to 400 and maybe a little bit more. But do that. Get me. Make sure if we're going to wear their styles, if we're going to do this, guys, if we're going to try to copy these models and actresses, then we've got to stay safe. Okay. All right. But I can tell you these tweets, we're trying to get the whole outfit, check out her shoes, check out her whatever. It looks like she's in lingerie. I'm not sure what she's in, but she looks stunning. But her hair, just make sure it almost looks like a little pixie wig. But that's the other piece. If you won't do it with your hair and you don't want to keep your hair safe, then go get you a pixie wig with all that. Because as you can see, She has really changed her hair. So, hey. All right. So now let's do this because I have not done this. First, I want to welcome you to the show. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. I'm your hair doctor. And for the next 45 minutes, I am going to be here with you, talking with you about your hair and your scalp. Okay, so tune in. Make sure that you tune in to the show today and make sure your questions are ready. So let's get busy. I want to start with getting my hair, and we're going to talk about alopecia areata, moisturizing the hair. We've already done our little celebrity news. So we're going to just go right into it. So I'm going to work with my hair, and we're going to, because I always like to do that because I want to make sure that we understand just how important it is to have our hair. Let's see, I'm just having some issues with getting my chat disconnected. Please wait. Yeah, our internet is really acting up today. I just really want it to do right. There we go. So hopefully we chat disconnected. Please wait. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you guys are now on and you can tune in. I do apologize for that. This is my hair that I show you a couple of things because this is always important to me. Okay, all right, guys. It's just I'm trying to chat live, and then I'm live right here in the WDA studios in iHeartRadio, and I see you guys are logging back in. I apologize, guys. Our internet is just acting up big time today, but that's okay. We're going to push forward. It is a beautiful day. So I'm going to start with my hair, and as you know, I always have it pulled back in a scrunchie. Let's make sure I got me. There we go. And you can see my hair, and I'm going to take my scrunchie off. I doubled this one just so I can, and I know you're on the radio and you can't see me, but you can go back. And your hair doctor, and I'm going to be here with you. We're going to talk about alopecia areata. We're going to talk moisturizing your children's hair. We're going to talk about hair porosity. So we can never talk about them enough. So let me separate that. See, this can be a stress point. You take your forefinger and thumb, you just kind of there we are. And I'm just fluffing up my hair. So welcome to the show. I'm here each and every week right here on the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. Tell your friends about me. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube page, because when you do that, you can get these free videos. And this is videos of me, trichologist Lisa Akbari. You can just ask the hair doctor. That's who I am. And I'm basically going to talk to you about your hair. And I'm going to clear up some questions that everyone has as it relates to their hair. And then my chat room is open, so I'll be able to answer your questions. And you can also email me, lisa@akbari.com. That's LISA at AKBARI. All righty, guys, and we are live and yeah, it's growing out. I'm in my program, so who are out there live streaming. I do apologize, guys. It's just been one of those things where we just have the internet. Can't live with it, can't live without it kind of thing. Okay, so let's get right down to our topics today. Now, we were talking about some of the things that were really important to you. And I got emails about this, but I did a little research, and what we found with that it's a lot of folks have problems with hydrating their children's hair, not just because they can't just pick up a jar of moisturizer and hydrate. It's because they want to be sure this is going to be safe for their baby's hair. So today I want to talk to you about moisturizers. So if you have a question for me about hydrating your child's hair, then you can chat with me, or you can email me, lisa@akbari.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer your question. Okay, so when it comes to children, a lot of people believe that they need to use something special, like some type of baby moisturizer or baby product, and that's simply not true. You don't have to do that, because what you need, all you need to do is make sure that the product is friendly to your hair. And you have to make sure, like the No More Tears shampoo, it actually dries the hair out. So the pH is just way too high for that particular, for the child's hair. You remember, your children have hair just like yours. It's just maturing in its texture, meaning size, and maturing in its type, meaning its true wave pattern or straightness to the hair. So other than that, your children have hair like your hair. Okay, so keep that in mind. All right, so what's important is that what we do is we hydrate based on the things that are going to be skin friendly and are not going to cause a negative buildup. The same way with yours. Now, I have your hair. You want to look for your hair. I have a product or actually a program called Hair Nutrition for little girls of color and little boys of color. So it's going to be really crucial that you guys understand. So I'm going to go on and put that in. We are just having so many internet problems. I don't know. Today, it's just like, Lord, please help me with this internet, because I do want to stream live. But again, this will be archived, so hopefully we won't have any issues with that. Okay, so hopefully we'll get back on in just a second. I'll just keep refreshing so that perhaps we can hop back on the internet. Okay, with the Hair Nutrition for Little Girls of Color, this particular program, it's on my website, lisaakbari.com, and that's LISAAKBARI.com. And you can just go on my site, or you can call my institute, and it can be shipped to you, or you can come by and pick it up if you're local. It's 901-380-4445. And we're talking about products that are great for children. It's called Hair Nutrition for Little Girls of Color, or Hair Nutrition for Little Boys of Color. And shampoos, conditioners, moisturizers, all of that's included. And we'll give you step-by-step how to actually follow the program, and that will help you as well, because that's really important. Because so often people are, they get a little confused about what to actually use with the children. They get confused about what to actually, in addition to what to use, they get confused about the process of combing their hair, and that type of thing. So I wanted to, it's really important that you're able to really manage your child's hair properly, whether it's a little girl or a little boy. And to hydrate the hair, you basically just need to keep the hair clean, keep the scalp clean, and keep in mind they're busier than we are. So, they're running around and they're sticking their head under the bed. And we're talking about toddlers, and of course with babies, they're not, but still you want to shampoo one application with a clarifier. You don't want to get it in the eyes, but just keep them laying back and cleaning, and then put their on. You don't have to go through under the dryer with conditioner, none of that nonsense, but you will, or none of those steps, but you will need to moisturize it. And then that's basically, and there will be just fine. So with your children, if you missed it, you just go to my website, lisaakbari.com, because like I said, our internet is going in and out. But if you're on the radio, you hearing me loud and clear, praise the Lord. And again, I want to say happy Father's Day to all the dads. If you have a dad, my dad has gone on to be with the Lord, but I will remember him, and my husband, and then my brother, and friends that have children, neighbors. And so just say happy. And yeah, that is so cool. But anyway, so back to it. So now we're going to talk about some other things that were important. Alopecia areata. Alopecia areata is a type of baldness. Now, alopecia means baldness. So alopecia areata, it's a type of baldness that comes from skin damage. We have so many people who are now dealing with this. It's not as rare as you think. We have people who are dealing with this form of alopecia. And it's an autoimmune disorder, and it is a part, I always talk about alopecia, baldness, and try to differentiate. And there's an external follicular type of alopecia. Well, alopecia areata is most definitely internal. And the internal follicular alopecia, the follicle internally is malfunctioning for some reason. With alopecia areata, you generally will see baldness in spots. That's the pattern. So you have the areata, then you have what is called the tutulus, which all the hair on your head is missing. It's gone away, your eyebrows, your eyelashes, things like that, or part of them, maybe not all of them, but it's slowly working its way to remove all the hair totally on your head. Which is the alopecia that's where the entire body loses its hair. So generally it starts at areata and it moves on if it's not taken care of. Now, where does this come from? Alopecia areata is a type of baldness that, because it's an autoimmune disease, the immune system has decided that the follicles are invaders. So shuts them down. Something going on within the body systems. Doctors that will be able to this type of alopecia. So I highly recommend an endocrinologist. Now, what's important is, the reason I always recommend trichologists first, because when you have the pattern of alopecia areata, circular patches, spots, sometimes it's the pattern of it, but it's not in fact that it looks like that, but it could be external. Now, what do I mean? When you have baldness, there are two categories. You always hear me talk about this. There's external and internal. If you have alopecia, believe you have alopecia areata, then you have to see a trichologist, one that uses a handheld microscope, such as myself. And there are plenty out there, depending on your area. You just have to look for them. You will find them. Sometimes in some cities and some states, I will admit, it's like a needle in a haystack, but keep your research. Okay, keep going until you find them. You need one that uses a handheld microscope. Why is that important? Because when they view your scalp under the microscope, then they can help differentiate this alopecia, well, whether it's truly appears to be alopecia areata or it appears to be something more external. Now, what I'm saying with follicular alopecia, which could be the pattern of the circular patches around the mouth of the follicle or chronic ing. If that's the case, the trichologist can treat it. But if there's nothing there, the follicle appears to have shrunk and it doesn't appear that that follicle is there at all, then that is going to be alopecia that is going to be more internal. And at that point, you want to recommend the endocrinologist, because the endocrinologist is going to help with making sure that you have the right tests administered, and that will help you. Questions about alopecia areata, you can email me. I'll be happy to send you some links. I'll be happy to, if you're local, recommend an endocrinologist. Then if you're not local, then do your research and start looking up endocrinologists in your area, and first start with a trichologist. If you have one that uses a handheld microscope, they will recommend the right endocrinologist, because generally trichologists, even though we're not medical doctors, we will have a lot of information about the right medical doctor that you need to see. Okay, all right, guys. So that is does anyone out there, as we're chatting, or email me if you have a question about alopecia areata. And I'm sure we'll talk about this a little bit more, but I want to go on to the next topic, gray hair. Oh my goodness, why are we graying? What is really going on? I seem to be losing power. Okay, what is really going on with our hair, and why are we graying in our 20s? That's scary, right? Well, let's talk about what gray hair is anyway, because gray hair, you know, it's basically an absence of color pigments found in the cortical fibers. Now, what am I saying here? You gray because your hair follicle can no longer produce those dark pigments, the melanin, that allows you to have hair, dark hair. They can no longer produce it. Now, where does that come from? And why would you gray in your 20s? Well, that's something that is such a mystery to a lot of people. You gray in your 20s because it's generally genetically linked. Some cases, it's not genetically linked. Sometimes it's something going on within the body systems that causes your follicle not to be able to produce the melanin that gives you the dark pink. Okay, so why do we gray in our 20s? If you look around in your family, see who's got gray hair, and ask them, when did you start to gray? And see, it's strongly genetically linked, strongly. So keep that in mind. And it's just an absence of color forming pigment that's found in the developmental stage. Is being produced when your hair is being produced within the follicle, and within the cells are all different into that hair to get it to become it's also giving you your texture, your size. It's giving you your type, whether it's curly or if it's straight. It's kinky or straight. It's also giving you your color. And so at that point, it depends. Follicles genetic to malfunction in this way, where you lose the ability to obtain your hair. And it could happen just in spots. It can happen in the front of or early all over. So keep that in mind. All righty now. So open. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and today we're talking about whatever you like to talk about as it relates to your hair. We're talking about gray hair. We're talking about alopecia areata. We're talking about those things that you have questions about. And I'm a trichologist, and I'm dedicated to giving this information each and every week so that you will become educated. Information is one thing, but just to become educated is a totally different thing. And we want to make sure that you understand what I'm saying, come to know it. You don't want to be a mystery to you, okay, guys? You want to know what's going on with your hair. And so that's why I am here every week. I'm here live in the WDI studio, Heart Radio, and we're talking about your hair. We're talking about everything that you like to talk about as it relates to your hair. My chat room is open. I'm here each and every week right here live in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. And you can email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, and that's Lisa at lisaakbari.com. Or you can call my institute at 901-380-4445, and that's Monday through Saturday, and it's 901-380-4445, and you can talk to a live consultant, and they can help you with hair products, booking appointments, getting a cyber consultation, 30 minutes with just me and you. They can help you with booking that. So, hey, I'm just here for you, just to help you. Now, let's talk a little bit about something that's been pretty much a big deal. And Essence is always ready to give us some stuff. This is not really celebrity news, but we thought it's a good time to have a little break and talk about this. Victoria's Secret, the lingerie giant, they did something, and it trended this on Twitter. They talked about this model, and they shared a screenshot of a model, and it was Zori Tabby, and it was from their website. She's a Victoria's Secret model. She's Black. And they said, somebody get her on the phone. Black Twitter comes for Victoria's Secret for not laying Black models' hair for the shoots. So they're upset because they put her hair, like you look at all the other models, everybody's approving their hair, but they've got her in a swimsuit, and her hair is just kind of in a little plaiting, and everything else is just kind of. So it's safe to say that black hair is always a topic of discussion in some shape, form, or fashion, but no pun intended. But it's because we're out there. We're always slaying and have it laid, and we're doing different things to our hair. But because it's being culturally appropriate, or it's because wigs are getting scratched. Literally, wigs are, we still have people that are going to wear their wigs. I know you guys out there, I have patients. I say, listen, you have to wear your wig. But Victoria's Secret, Black Twitter feels like Victoria's Secret and other fashion sites have their models and have her portraying her in a way that is, can't say what they said. It's messed up. I feel that although it's the necessary steps and homegirls and doing their hair and laying it a certain way and for these different shoots, they feel like her right. Well, I look at it like this: as long as the hair is healthy, like this is range like the way the white women's hair looked. And I mean, it's just so much. This is a political kind of a offensive thing. And I think it's a lot of this is a lot of nothing, because I think that people are just writing about it. Now, I mean, granted, she's a cute model. She's beautiful, but her hair does look like she just kind of got out of bed. But it's okay. It's okay. She's gorgeous and she's got this job and she's good. So that's how I look at it. I'm going to leave it like that. I don't see an unsafe way that they've done. They look like they just put a ponytail back there. It doesn't look like it's tight. And then they left the rest of it just can't. I'm going to let that one go. Okay. We're just going to leave and we're going to move on to something that's more important. But I just wanted to say that because I'm sure you guys have seen this. Now let's go to a topic, really a big deal for a lot of people. And we talk about these two things all the time, but we tend to never have enough information about it. Hair porosity. We always talk about how do you know your porosity? How do you determine your porosity? But how do you have good porosity? Yeah, you can look at low porosity, high porosity, but how do you have the equal or good porosity? What are the ways to do that? And I think that's where I want to kind of park today. Then we're going to talk about protein versus moisturizers. What's the big deal? Do you need protein? Do you need moisture? What's the difference? How do you get it? What do you look for? And so we're going to talk about that as well. So let's start with this porosity, hair porosity, and how do you get great porosity? Because I think that's really crucial. Because too often when we're working with our hair, we don't think about why good hair porosity is so important. And then we don't know how to get it. I mean, simple ways to get it, but how do we get good porosity? Okay, number one, it is important to have equal or good porosity. Now, what do I mean by equal or good porosity? Your hair, porosity means it deals with your hair's ability to absorb its moisture. How fast it's going to absorb moisture. Have you ever had a situation where you say, well, I put oil on my hair or I put moisturizer on my hair and it just kind of went away on this morning and my hair is dry this evening? Well, porosity. So if you have a problem with your porosity, then you're not going to keep your hair hydrated and you're not going to keep your hair shiny. You're not like a natural shine as you see on mine. So what's important? Because if you retain, it also determines how fast you're going to absorb chemicals. So if you're getting a hair color, or if you're getting a relaxer, or when you're shampooing or conditioning, whatever is happening, if you don't have good porosity, you're going to take it in very quickly. If it's uneven, if it's poor porosity, if the porosity problem with it being too high, then what's going to happen? You're going to not be able to take your products in like you need to take them in. So it'll be harder. So when you put product on, it looks like it's just sitting on top. That's still a problem. You want the cuticle to open, receive the products or the service, and then still have a nice tight cuticle over its cortex. What do I mean? That top layer that sits on top, like shingles on a house, that needs to stay compact and flat. And if it's not staying that, then you're going to have dry hair, hair that breaks easy. You're going to have all kinds of problems. So good porosity is crucial. How do you get good porosity? Good porosity by two things, several things. Well, I'm just going to come out there. Number one, you've got to manage your hair properly. If you're going to work with your hair, relaxed hair, you cannot go through and bully your hair. Like detangling, my goal with my patients who have natural hair or long hair or hair that tends to tangle is to prevent the tangles so we don't have to detangle. Detangling, there is no to do, but most people don't safely detangle their hair. They tend to pull their hair into tangle improperly and to detangle all the time. You tend to create these microscopic tears along your hair shaft, straight hair or whether you have kinky hair. And when you have microscopic tears, your moisture level down. Your hair is no longer, so it will not hold its moisture because these microscopic tears expose the cortex, or it takes the layers of the cuticle. It's no longer, these are the layers, cuticle, cortex, medulla. Got to be primed by the cuticle, protected, so therefore you now have this hair that's exposed internally. When you do, you're going to have poor porosity, and you're going to lose the appropriate amount of elasticity that's required to hold that strand together, so you'll break easy. Have split ends. You always have broken hair. You always feel like you got dry hair. My hair just won't grow. Woe is me. Well, it's because you have poor porosity, because you've got this microscopic tears from detangling. So on my website, lisaakbari.com, there's a product called Hydrating Detangling Souffle, and I highly recommend, if you have problems, I call it my cheat product. So if you have problems with tangles, I highly recommend you get that product. Okay, that is so important. Now, another reason why you have poor porosity is the things that you do with your hair and not prepping it and getting it ready for some of these things. So what are some of these things? Some of these things that you need to use and to do. You have to make sure, let's make sure see if we got any questions. Guys, my chat room is open. If you have any questions, you guys are really quiet on the chat room today. I'm here going at it, and you guys are tuning in. I can see that you have tuned in today, and we're talking about porosity right now. We're just going to end it with the protein and moisture, because that's a really, really big deal for a lot of people as well. But with the porosity, let's go back to that. The other reason why you have poor porosity is the way you're managing your hair and all the services that you're getting. So if you're going to get a hair color, then you have to make sure that you are caring for your hair properly. If you're going to use a flat iron, you have to care for your hair properly. In addition to making sure the temperature is right and you have a protector, you also have to prep your hair daily and weekly. You need to, I don't care what kind of hair you have, relaxed or natural, you need to shampoo inside of 7 days. I'm consistently treating and doing analysis on patients who have problems with their hair because they're just not cleaning as they should and deep conditioning as they should. Something real simple. Is cleaning and deep conditioning the cure-all? Absolutely not. But you have to keep in mind there's a foundation that you have to keep protected and preserved, and you have to make sure that you're taking care of the foundation. And how do you do that? Well, we're talking about porosity, so let's talk about the hair. How do you do that? You have to deep condition, and that's something that's kind of, it's been like, oh, this is old school, we don't do that anymore. Well, you need to. You have to sit in the dryer with your conditioner doing something I call plussing. And you hear me say this all the time, guys. And I have all the patients that I treat, we even work with this in our wellness, but what we do a little different, we have all these leave-in hydrating products for the hair, so we don't have to worry about it. And you have to have a good balance of protein and moisture. So when we get under the dryer, we make sure we raise the temperature, at least 60 degrees for optimum penetration. That means you want to put the dryer on warm. You want to put your conditioner on, towel blot your hair. You want to use a protein and moisture conditioner because there's a delicate protein and moisture level within the hair shaft that must stay balanced. You need protein. You're not going to be protein sensitive. We're going to talk about that in a minute. And moisture. We're going to talk about that in a second. but you want to make sure you sit in the dryer so it goes inside the hair cuticle, does his repair work, and then you're rinsing it off. Then on a daily basis, you want to make sure that you're applying leave-in conditioners that give you a little bit of protein and moisture. If you have relaxed hair, you can take a little bit of moisturizer, put it on your ends, and if you have natural kinky hair, you can use your leave-in conditioners and so you get your protein and moisture every single day. Crucial. What that's going to do is keep your porosity where it should be by doing those two things. And before you use your chemicals, you want to make sure you're preconditioning, and then you want to make sure you deep conditioning afterwards. And daily, again, hydrating the hair and actually putting your protein on. So want to look at the ways that we know our porosity. We also want to know how to keep good porosity, and we want to know why our hair is being porous. There you go. Now you have it, and there it is. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, or if you are in weekly with me, and I thank you and love you for that, my cyber family and my radio land. It has been called Radio Land in a long time. Wow, Radio Land. I'm here each and every week, right here live in the WDA studios and iHeartRadio. And I'm here. You can have your friends tune in to me live on YouTube. You can your iHeart app. I'm here every week, right here. Just tune in. We have to chat with you, or you can email me, Lisa at Akbari.com. That's LISA at LISAAKBARI. Okay, that's going to be really, really important because, guys, let me tell you, it's important that we communicate, utilize, and take advantage of all these things that are free to you so that you can be blessed. Protein and moisture. We're going to wrap up the show with that. We're here about another 10 minutes or so, and I'm going to be your hair doctor and chat with you and answer your questions. If you have questions for me, you can hit me up on chat and go to my YouTube page. It's Lisa Akbari, and that's YouTube. Or you can email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, or you can go to my website, lisaakbari.com, or call my institute at 901-380-4445. Okay, protein versus moisturizer. Which one do we need? A few minutes ago, we need both. Of protein, mostly protein, and you probably have researched and you know that. Ability, it's pliable, it's moving, it be versatile, have the body, as you see with my hair, able to, the protein is important. Now, let's clear up a myth. There's a myth that you can be protein sensitive. You cannot be protein sensitive. Your strands cannot be. Protein, used a protein and you have a rash, you've broken out, you around your ears or your face, then yes, you may have had something called contact dermatitis, where you've had an allergic reaction to the protein. If you have not had that, then you are not protein sensitive, guys. Now, your hair can absolutely not be protein sensitive. You just have to have a balance. What happens with protein, people tend to protein to get strong hair. For years, there was these 911 conditioners that came out, and they were always out, and they were like, okay, I've damaged my hair beyond repair, appears to be. You're not because you're not balanced. There's a delicate protein and moisture level within the hair shaft that must stay balanced. If you do not use protein and moisture in your conditioner, you want to look on the front of their bottles, called Protein and Moisture. I have one on you can go to my website at lisaakbari.com if you have a hard time finding one. I don't believe in fixing something that's not broken. So if you have a great one, hooray. But you want it clean. You want it a clean product. And let me tell you, I have one called Deep Penetrating Protein and Moisture Stabilizing Conditioner. Long title. Why do I put that on my bottle? Because I want people to be able to look at it and say, okay, here's my protein, here's my moisture. Moisturizing protein and moisturizing, stabilizing conditioner. So why do you need both? Protein is to strength, make the hair strong. Moisture is for hydration. So use both, and your way to get that full balance is and repair, because you can put it on your hair and use it as an instant, and that's no worries. You can put that on and for 60 seconds in the shower, rinse it off. And that's mostly for folks who are shampooing daily, or people who are really active, they're swimming, you want to do something called a quick fix. You're shampooing, you're running your protein and moisture conditioner through for 60 seconds, finish your shower, and you're out of there. But you need to deep condition at least once a week, because you can do all the repair work at that time. You're going to have a stronger hair strand, better porosity. You're going to have better elasticity. You're going to have a better opportunity to repair and to help get that cuticle more compact over the cortex, which is where all your strength bonds are, and your color pigments, your structural changes, everything is right inside that cortex. So this is important. So you can't be protein sensitive to your hair. You can have an allergic reaction to anything. It depends on what your body says. I don't like that. You can have a rash. If you're not breaking out in a rash, redness, irritation, swelling on your body, on your skin, around your hairline, and on your neck and behind your ears, then you're not protein sensitive or allergic to protein. You are just not balanced with your hair. So make sure you're using protein and moisture together so you can have strong and hydrated hair. And you're not just using those little 911 protein packs that dry your hair out. Working with your hair, it dries out, so you think you're protein sensitive. Clear that protein sensitive. Remember, you can email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. It's been a great show. Guys, I went right through the show because I didn't have chat was really quiet. Let's see if anybody's on now. I'm having so many internet issues, and I think that's the reason people are getting on and then they're getting knocked back off. I'm hoping that my show goes through really well, but I am having some problems with YouTube broadcasting and the radio. So guys, I'm here. You guys are loading up, so hopefully you're able to see me, and maybe just through your Google Hangout. I'm not really sure, but let's see if we can do chat on my Google Hangout and microphone. Okay, you can hear me well. And let's see, chat, guys. Let's see if we have somebody on this chat. I have that one open. If you go to Google Hangout, if you have something, we only have a few minutes left anyway, so you can chat with me. But guys, wow, it's been an outstanding show. Thank you guys. Me, I love you, my cyber family and my radio family. I love you. You know I do. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and I'm here each and every week right here in WDI Studios and iHeartRadio. To God be the glory in Jesus. You know who I serve. And happy Father's Day to all the dads out there celebrating Father's Day. Love you, love you, love you. To my brother and to who's in heaven. So thank you guys, and I'll see you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. Have a blessed, wonderful morning or afternoon whenever you've tuned in.